Alright, so today we're going to be starting a new series. It's going to be version 2 of my Mirage cosplay, and before we get into that, there's one thing I need to do. Yeah, you didn't think I wasn't going to wear my Mirage sweatshirt for this. Come on. Alright, so, for anyone who doesn't know, Mirage was my first cosplay, and because of this, it has a lot of issues. There's some stuff I want to fix, there's a lot of new stuff I want to kind of add, and I want to make it a little more accurate. So, let's get into it. So, right when I unlocked Mirage, he was by far my favorite character in Apex Legends. One of the biggest reasons is that he uses holograms, and in every video game I play that has them, I love using holograms to mess with people.
Now you see me, now you don't. Sorry, did I confuse you? Mother.
When I first got into cosplay, though, I also wanted a character that kind of matches my personality, and Mirage was that character.
Hey, buddy. I hear you're the second smartest guy in the Outlands.
Wink.
Now, once I chose Mirage, I knew the main thing I wanted on this cosplay was holo panels that actually light up. Now, these holo panels took me months to get right. I had to learn how to code, I had to do a lot of prototyping, but I was really happy with how they turned out. When I finished this cosplay, I was really happy with it, and I still love wearing this thing to cons. Now, over time, I have added on to this cosplay, but it's not really up to par with what I want to do nowadays. You see, as mentioned in my last video, I've gotten into competition cosplay, and this means that there needs to be more detail and more game accuracy. Along with this, my old cosplay is just falling apart because I didn't really have a lot of experience when I started making it. Because of this, as we start version 2, we need to look at the old cosplay and see how we can improve things. And that's what we'll be doing for this first episode. We're going to talk about the old cosplay and how we can improve the different parts going into the next one. So we're going to dive right in, starting with the strap connectors for the holo panels, because these things break all the time, and honestly at this point I'm pretty sure they're 50% glue from me repairing them. You see, these had been printed in PETG, but the thing with PETG is it can only bend so much. This would lead to them breaking when someone bumped into me, or even I moved my arm in the wrong direction. To fix this, in the next version we're going to be using a flexible filament called TPU. Now this filament can take a beating, so hopefully it'll make our holo panels a little more durable and longer lasting. Another thing I need to change is the accuracy to the game. At the time that I made my original holo panels, I just didn't have a lot of experience with CAD. With more experience under my belt, I think it's time to go back over and make these more detailed and more accurate to the game. Moving on from the holo panels, I think the next thing I need to do is simplify my electronics system. Currently, there are just way too many plugins and way too many different cords, and I really want to simplify this so it's just a few plugs and done. And while we're at it, I want to go ahead and optimize the controller so it's not as obvious when I hit the buttons while on stage. And lastly, I'm going to also need to optimize the jets because currently they're not working properly, which means I get to redo the wires. Now the light system is working just fine, but the smoke system and the servos do not want to work. So whenever we get to the jets, we're going to have to diagnose the issues and see how we can fix them. And since we'll already be messing with the electronics a lot, we're probably going to go ahead and optimize the coding so that in the future it's a little bit easier to use and it looks a little better. So yeah, that covers the electronics, but the next thing I wanted to fix is the base clothes. Originally, I was using this cheap hoodie, but now I need something a little closer to what we see in the game. I will miss having this custom design, but I think I'm going to turn it back into a normal hoodie. This way I get another hoodie out of it, and I can always wear part of my original Mirage cosplay. Another upgrade I really want to make is modularity to the parts. So some parts like this got glued on, which I really shouldn't have, because it makes them a pain if I want to wear a backpack at a con. Another thing we may redo is these leg panels, because while I do like them, EVA foam wears out a lot and they don't stay on the straps very well, so hopefully we'll be redoing that and making them a little better. These are definitely, if we have time we'll get to it, but if not, it's whatever thing. So a lot of version 2 of our Mirage cosplay is going to be based off the normal skin, except instead of yellow, we're going to do red. Now all the pouches and stuff on his legs, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete those before GalaxyCon Raleigh, but I do want to get those on there in the future. The biggest change overall is going to be the jets, because I prefer the boxy ones from the Prestige skin compared to the cylindrical ones from the original skin. So we're going to have about 6 weeks to work on this. That's about the amount of time I have before GalaxyCon Raleigh. I'm going to try and post one video every week, but no promises quite yet because I have to figure out how much free time I actually have.